Today we're going to take a look at software that I use every single day to speed up my workflow, my retouching. It is AI software called Evoto. I think I'm saying that right. I did try and make this video before and it was completely out of focus. So we're going to redo the video. Let's get straight into the software. Here we are in Evoto. I have loaded up 4 different images for us to work on to show you different aspects of the software. Okay, so this is a corporate headshot. There are presets which you could use. We could try that and see how that works, and then I will take you through from top to bottom. Let's go headshot and click on that, and that does a pretty good job. That's the before, that's the after, that's the before. It's zooming into that. Okay, let's reset that and take you through the controls from top to bottom. Okay, so it automatically recognizes whether the face is male, female, child, elderly, or single. You can reframe or choose your faces. In our tool panel, start at the top, freckle and acne, and let's dial that all the way up, see what that does. So he doesn't have any of those. Body blemishes, so that would take out, have a look in the neck area there. So that removed all of that in a second. So that's fine. Remove face shine. So he is a little bit shiny. Let's pull that down. That looks pretty good. Great. Face, forehead wrinkle. So there's a scar there. Let's see how that tackles that. Didn't actually do much. Dial it all the way up. Still not doing much. Let's look at the eye wrinkles. Very subtle. Dark circles. That did quite a good job there. I sometimes like to just dial down the smile line. That looks great. Doesn't have any neck wrinkles. Does not have a double chin. Let's close that. Let's go into skin retouching. So this is like dodging and burning, evening out the skin tones. And you can see even when I crank it all the way up, it doesn't look horrible. I'm going to dial that back down to about 35, 30%. I think that looks really nice and natural. You can do face skin smoothing. I don't really play with that. I don't like it at all. There is body skin smoothing. Could use that if that's what it calls for. Unified body complexion. Let's see what that does. Just doing a little bit in the neckline, but nothing amazing for us. Face reshape. Don't really play around with that, but you could do amazing things. I don't know what. You could really sort of play around with that. Temple, cheekbones, the jaw, sort of make the jaw a little bit stronger. Again, these are not things that I generally do. You can reshape eyebrow thickness, eyes, adjusting the nose, you can adjust the mouth, width position, enlarge upper lip, kind of like in-camera Botox. As you can see, the adjustments are pretty subtle. Teeth touching up, we don't have teeth. Eyes, the brightness, again, this is really cool. So this I kind of use as something to increase the contour. So just push up the highlights, and then you can see, just look around the nose area there. As I move that contour, it kind of just darkens down the darker areas, which I do like to do. Then we could do a background cleanup, but we're going to use that for our next one of the next tutorials, one of the next pictures. And let's look at the before and the after. So just bearing in mind, this is a paid software. I do pay for it. You buy credits, and it works out really, really cheap per picture, way cheaper than if you were sending it off to a retoucher, which I think is amazing because You can, of course, then have a faster turnaround time for your clients. So somebody sends me a picture, I can retouch it within minutes and send it back to them. Okay, let's work on our next picture. This was from a recent shoot. As you can see, unfortunately, our model was not having the best skin day. It recognizes that our model is female. Again, we could do a high-end retouch automatic and see what it does by itself. I mean, that is amazing if you ask me. Look at that. That is just one click and it automatically did everything. But let's take it from the top. Okay, so freckle and acne, let's just dial that all the way up. That looks pretty good. Body blemishes, not seeing much, but let's see if that does do anything. A little bit cleaned up the arms a little bit, I don't mind that. Remove face shine, we don't have any face shine. Forehead wrinkles, we don't have any eye wrinkles. Going to the eye, I don't think she really has any wrinkles under her eyes. Dark circles. Okay, so that did make a little bit of an adjustment over there. Smile line. Again, this line, which is sort of a natural smile line, it's not really affecting. So what you can do, they have recently just brought in, oopsie, they've just brought in their own healing brush. So we can take that size down pretty small and you can just draw in and boom, she gone. You've got a patch healing tool, which is the same as it would work in Photoshop, as well as a clone stamp tool. I don't really use that at all. Click OK. And then we're back into our picture. As you can see, it's removed that pretty naturally. And then you can go into your skin retouching. This is more to even out the complexion than to smooth the skin. But technically, I guess it is smoothing the skin. I don't do any of that. Let's see, should we unify? I don't think so. I'm kind of happy with that. They've got these sort of, I don't know, you can change the skin color and then just sort of like dial it back. Temperature slider, that's just of the skin, by the way. You can see how that's, if you wanted to warm up the skin or cool down the skin, it gives you that option, which I think is fantastic. Face reshape, we're not going to do anything over there. Again, I'll go into my makeup slider, push up the highlights. So that's really just sort of in that area, and then contour a little bit. Something very cool to do, but I can show you. Let's save that for the next picture. Okay, so this is fantastic because I didn't do such a good job painting the curve, but they have a background, clean, solid backdrop. I mean, this is just beyond fantastic. One click. Let's see that again. Let's take it off, put it back on. I mean, that is crazy. And for colored or gray backdrops, you do get banding. So they've got a color banding removal button, right? And then another really cool feature is that you can change the background to anything you want. I don't really use this. You can add your own one, or you can even do a cutout, which is great. I don't know if you can go in, you could probably go in and adjust it. Manual fine tuning, yeah, you can. So that's the mask. You remove the mask around the shoe, so you didn't really do such a good job there. Again, over here, because the shoe is white and the floor is white. Yeah, and then click OK. And there is your PNG ready to go. So we're not going to do that. We're going to reset that because that is what I wanted to show you. Let's go back into our portrait retouch. Okay, so you know how to do all of those. But this is pretty interesting. Full body reshape. So that is just using the AI to do a full body reshape. Again, not something I would ever do. That's just some fun stuff. The height is a really cool one. Occasionally I do tweak this. So just to sort of give a little bit more height to your model, you can just stretch it up a little bit, which looks really, really believable. I do frequently do that on swimwear shoots. Again, very subtle. Before, after, before, after. I don't mind doing that type of adjustment because I don't feel like it's really changing the body. It could be more as if you shot with a wide angle lens and just wanted to elongate the legs. Okay, so let us go to our next shot. Okay, so the final image is a beauty shot. I wanted to bring this image in because we've got two faces in and it does a fantastic job of identifying both faces, and you can make that adjustment. But let's just have a look at what a high-end retouch does all by itself. This kind of blew me away because I did send these pictures out originally to be retouched, and I've got to say I wouldn't be unhappy with that. It's maybe a little bit over retouched for my liking, but I can't really fault that. I mean, it did a really, really good job. Okay, so let's go in and manually do it. So let's reset that and just go into the locate face tab. So there you can see it's picking up our faces, and female, perfect. I don't think I can, oh, you can modify, delete, change. Okay, so I'm pretty much happy with that. I'm going to save that, and starting at the top, let's remove all freckles, blemishes. So let's say, for example, your model has a beauty spot that you want to keep in. So, but this slider takes it out completely. You can actually brush out, the mask so that it doesn't affect that area. But we don't want to do that. We're going to keep our mask in there. So we're going to brush that in. And again, I mean, there could be something that you want to brush in and that it didn't pick up. I'm happy with that. Okay. So body blemishes, this is going to remove the moles in this area. Again, you could just leave it at that. I think that looks pretty good. But let's keep going. Eye wrinkles, our models don't really have eye wrinkles. I just pushed it up. Dark circles, not really. Yep, there we go, a little bit. Have a look at that. Before, after. Subtle, but it keeps the texture, which I really, really like. Smile line, a little bit over there. There is a little bit of a neck wrinkle. I don't know if that's something that really bothers me. Did it do anything? Let's dial it all the way up. I don't think so. Yeah, a little bit in this area here. You could remove stretch marks if that's something you wanted to do. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go into our skin retouching. Maybe just bring that down a little bit. Face, skin smoothie, body rosy, unified body complexion. Let's push that up a bit. Yeah, I think that does a really nice job. So essentially what it is doing is trying to bring all the tones into the same range. Before, after, before, after. I mean, this would take at least 25 minutes to half an hour for me to do manually. And we are just really cruising through. We could make it warmer, make it cooler. Ooh, that's terrible. Let's just dial it down somewhere there. That looks great. Happy with the skin retouching. Let's push that a little bit more. Face reshaping, we're not going to do. Teeth, we're not going to do. Eyes, you can push the brightness of the eyes, I guess. I really do wish that they would come out with something that you could remove the reds in the eyes over here. But again, because we're not really seeing it, I think it's fine. I would just leave it. I don't like the white of the eyes to look pure white, so let's just bump it up a little bit. The makeup tab. So again, let's push our highlighter, let's push our contour. I feel like you could do that quite a bit more with the beauty image. You've got a bit more scope to be creative with the retouching. Eye makeup brightness. So I mean, I don't know if my makeup artist would be super happy with me making those adjustments, but if we just pushed it a little bit, the lip color, so let's leave it towards the muted side. Okay, so this is a great tab. Eyeshadow, you could change the eyeshadow if you weren't happy with it, or maybe your model or your subject came in with no makeup, and you know, you could always apply makeup afterwards. The eyelashes, this is fantastic. So we can add some eyelashes, and I mean, it looks really natural. No one would say that. Maybe some of them are a little bit not so natural, but not like that one. That's a bit hectic, but still pretty cool. And again, would be very, very difficult to do by yourself. What's nice is you can actually dial down or dial in the intensity of a lot of these adjustments. Let's go on to, I don't think that one, that one's kind of subtle. There we go. Contact lenses, this is really, really cool. You can change the eye color. And you can see here, it is, even if I go on blue, it's still not making her eyes completely blue, but her eyes that are blue, it's making them more blue. Unless we dial up the intensity, which is probably a bit scary. So that's none. Let's leave it on none. I'm happy with that. Blush, this is a cool little trick to do to add a little bit of contouring as well. Doing anything, it might be struggling, you know. I'm not seeing anything happen with the blush. Let's go into this one and see if we hit blush. Guys, I've got no explanation for that. I know it does work. I have seen it work. I mean, the contacts were working. Yeah, that's definitely working. Let's go back to blush. Okay, no idea why that is not working, but I guess everything has its glitches. Let's see if we can change the lipstick color. That's working beautifully. I don't think I would change lipstick very often unless a client requested it. But it just looks so natural. And you've got satin mattes, creamier, shimmer. That's not bad. I don't mind that, guys. So that's none. Really not bad, super natural. And let's just look at the before, after. So that is it, guys. That is my review or walkthrough of my retouching with AI software, which I am super grateful for. There is one more thing. Let's get back into the studio. Okay, one more thing I wanted to show you guys. This is a new recent update. Often people will say, could you remove the wrinkles? And to do that in Photoshop is possible, but very, very time consuming, and not often do I get it really, really well. So they have a de-wrinkle slider. It is in beta, so, you know, I guess it's gonna still have room for improvement, but that looks pretty fantastic. And then you could keep in the big wrinkles, or you could remove or keep in the fine wrinkles. So you can finesse that how you want to keep it more natural. Sometimes it would make things look maybe too smooth, which isn't very realistic. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.